Hello, everyone. Sending you some really warm thoughts from beautiful Oakland, California. Welcome to the second lesson of WordPress. We're going to be adding onto the knowledge that we learned in the last class and kind of working again with the customizer button that, as you remember, allows you to make any stylistic or static changes to the website. So the first thing that we want to do, the first step here, and this is something that we can all follow along for now, is go to google.com. Okay, so go ahead and type that. And once you get there, I'm going to ask you to enter the following information into the search box. It's WordPress login. Go ahead and click enter, and that takes you to the search output. And the link that we want to go ahead and click is the one that has this URL underneath. When you do a search on Google, you'll see these headers, and then underneath you'll always see a URL, and that lets you know basically the address of the website. And the one that we're looking for is the one that says wordpress.com/login. So we want to go ahead and press that one once you identify it, and it'll take me to this login window. Before we continue, I wanted to go over a few things. So first, as you can notice, I'm using a Mac computer. You are all on a Microsoft Windows computer, so it will look slightly different, but for the most part it's the same. Like, this panel here in the bottom is not in your computer, but the window here for the web browser should be basically the same, I would venture to say. The other thing is that when you're doing this, things might look slightly different on your computer, as we talked about in the last class. We all have our own unique WordPress accounts with its own unique configurations, and our own each computer has different configurations, so things will not always look exactly the same, but overall it should look very similar. So just wanted to touch on those two things as we continued. So once you enter your email address, you can go ahead and click continue, and remember that you have to enter the email address that you use when you registered the website. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is, before we go on, is if you haven't registered for your website, I did send a email in the class before, for the class before this one, that has a link that takes you to the registration, and I'm sure someone in class can help you go through that in case you don't have a WordPress site yet. Okay, so then once we enter our email address, we go ahead and click continue, and as you can see, the information is already being inserted for me because it is my own personal computer and I allowed it to do that. You will have to enter your email and password. I'm just going to go ahead and enter mine as well, just to make sure that we're all kind of going at the same rate. So another thing to remember is that if you lost your password, if you forgot it, if you are just having issues logging in, I would go ahead and click this link that says lost your password, and that's going to ask you for your email and then send you a link to your email that helps you change your password, and that should allow you to log in again. Okay, so once we're all set, we can go ahead and click login, and hopefully if we enter the right password, it should take us to the reader. Remember, the reader is the social networking aspect of WordPress, and it allows us to discover new sites, search for subjects that we're interested in, star items so that you can find them in the future, and also do insert tags, which allow you to Um, Keep tabs on information that you're interested in. So if you remember in the last class, I'm going to go ahead and click tags. You can just watch for now. I remember I added climate change, Iceland, and skiing, and cats, and these subjects are still here. So when I click them, you know, you can see it says Iceland, and over here are posts related to Iceland that were uploaded recently. So, this one is uploaded 4 minutes ago, 20 minutes, 29 minutes ago, 1 hour ago. So you can, this is so you can always be kind of on top of kind of any subjects that you're interested in, and always get the most up-to-date information on any post that was added to WordPress. All right. Again, the reader is a social networking part of WordPress, and we're not going to be working much for this class. We're going to be working with my site. So we want to go ahead and click my site. And again, when you go to it, it usually takes you to stats. And these are my own stats for my own WordPress account. It has stats, stands for statistical information about your website. And so you'll have views, visitors, likes, comments. This might look different for you than it does for me, because again, we have different WordPress sites. What should always look the same though, unless we make any changes, which we haven't, is this, with the exception of this top one, because this is my URL for my site, this is the title of my site, and this is the icon for my site. So yours will look different there and should have the particular information that you have added for your site thus far. But everything else below that should look the same. Okay? And if it doesn't, then this would be a good moment to maybe raise your hand and try to figure it out. All right? Another thing that I wanted to mention is, before continuing, is if there are any questions at all, I am available via telephone. You can text me or call me, and I can answer any issues or questions that might come up. And yeah, so the format that I was thinking for this class is I will be showing you how to do something, and you'll see me clicking things, you'll see me moving my mouse around, and so I just want you to see, so you can kind of get the flow of what it looks like. If it's going too fast, I'm not there to answer any questions. So go ahead, you can go ahead and pause it, and and replay some information if it went too fast for you. Yeah, you should just, for now, watch what I'm doing, and then we're gonna go ahead and pause the video so that you can do it on your own. All right. So go ahead and turn off your monitors, even if you find the monitor a little distracting. You can press the button on the lower right hand corner of your monitor, and yeah, follow along. So you remember from the last class, we worked a lot with the customize button, so we're going to work with that again, because the customize button is what we're going to work with whenever we want to make any stylistic changes. So I went ahead and clicked the customize button, and it takes me here. And I just remembered that I have uploaded the header image again before, but that's fine, because we're going to do it again. So if you remember in the last class, we worked with site identity, colors and backgrounds, and fonts. In this class, we're going to start with header image. Before I do that, I wanted to go over what header means. And when you log into when you go to a new website, you'll usually see three main parts to it. There are the header, the body, and the footer. Again, that's header, body, and footer. And the header is the first thing that you see in a website, and it usually includes the title, maybe some information, and a navigation panel here, like you can see here below. It's called navigation, the navigation menu or panel, because it allows you to navigate to other parts of the website. So This would be an example of a header because it has title, information, and a background image, which we will be changing soon. So below the header image, you'll find the body, and this usually is where you'll find some information, some more detailed information, and yeah, like the main kind of part of the site. And that's why it's called the body. And then usually below, you'll see things in smaller fonts, and that is called the footer. So you can imagine an imaginary line that runs like at the bottom of the website, and things below that would be the footer. And usually, again, those are written in smaller fonts, and they contain like maybe some contact information, or in this case, an advertisement from WordPress, because this is a free website that they provide. But yeah, so today we're going to be working with the header image and the navigation menu. So let's go ahead and click header image. Well, you're not doing this, I'm doing this, so just let's go ahead and watch me click header image. So I'm going to click header image. That's the first step in changing the header. And you will see here it says current header, previously uploaded, pictures, and suggested ones. These are all beautiful, but I'm going to go ahead and click add new image so you can literally add a new image. So you will see here, it looks really similar to when we added an icon and a logo before. It's actually the same process. So if you already identified a picture here that you want to put as a header, you can choose it. Otherwise, as I think most of you will want to do, is click upload files. And if you remember, the process is finding an image on Google, saving it to your desktop, and then coming back here and selecting the file. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna open a new tab, and I'm gonna Google something random, cats. The internet loves cats. And then I'm gonna go ahead and here click images right below the search box. That takes me to some really cute pictures of cats. I like this one. So I'm gonna just go ahead, and once you find the picture that you like, the process is right-clicking, clicking Save Image As, saving it to your desktop under a name that will help you identify it. So I'm just gonna call it Cats1. Gonna save that, and it should be at my desktop now. Then what you want to do is go back to the customizer, and then you want to click select files. Remember, this is the same process that we went over for adding the icon and the logo. So we click on the picture that we want. There it is, Cats1, and then click open. And you'll see the cat there. So the next part is selecting crop. And as you can see here, this part of the image is lit and this is darker, and the darker would not be part of the header. So if you want to include that, you have to click and drag it down. So I think for this kitty, it would be good to have this much in the picture. And again, you can just hover over the little squares that you see here, and you'll see that there will be different arrow. Well, there will be an arrow pointed in different directions that allows you to click. You have to and then drag. So you have to again click and drag down or up. And yeah, you can also do this from the corners. The corners are usually faster. Great. So once you have cropped it in a way that you like, you will click crop image, and then it crops it. It looks says I was cropping it. And it loads into the header. So for this particular picture, you can see that it doesn't look that good, right? Because I think some pictures are small, smaller than others, and if it's too small when you add it to the header, it kind of becomes pixelated. And this one, you can see it's a little pixelated. That's why it looks off. So yeah, this image is a little too small. If this happens to you, you can go ahead and find maybe a new picture so that when it expands, it doesn't look as pixelated. But I'm gonna go ahead and add one that I had before already. So I'm gonna click Add New Image, and gonna go over the process again. Remember, it's Upload Files. Click, and then you click Select Files. And I'm gonna find this other picture that I uploaded before that I really liked. I'm gonna click Open, and there it's uploaded. Then I'm gonna click Select and Crop, and for this one I want it to be this big. I'm gonna click it and drag it down. Yeah, I think this is a good size. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. There we go. And then you click Crop Image, and as soon as you click Crop Image, it says cropping, and then you can see it's loading. Little wheel here by the mouse, and now it's there. And yeah, this one doesn't look pixelated, and this is actually related to my WordPress blog. Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you at this point to go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and do that. But before you do that, just remember the steps are, I'm gonna go back to the dashboard, and you always can do that by clicking the X here, and it says the changes will be lost. That's okay for now. So remember, it's customize. It takes you to here. You want to click header image, and then you want to click add new image, and you select the picture that you want if it's here, or you click upload, and then you would go to a new tab and find the picture that you want, right click it, save image as, save it to your desktop so that you can access it more quickly, and go back here, select the file that you want, and then you would click on it, click open, then it uploads here, and then of course you crop it, and once you crop it in a way that you like, you click crop and it will load for you. And remember, any change that you do, you want to click on publish so that the changes can actually be made to the website. If you don't click publish, the change will not be made. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now you can go ahead and pause it, and then yeah, you'll hear me again in a little bit. All right. Great, so now I'm gonna just go back here and show you a way to see your site. So I think in the last class I showed you a way where you can copy the URL and then paste it in a new tab to see your site, but there's actually another way that I think you'll like more. So in order to see your website, you want to click on View Site, and then you'll see a button here in the upper right hand corner that says Visit Site, and you want to, what I like to do is right click and then click Open Link in a new tab so that it opens in a new tab, and then it's going to be here, and it takes me to my site. So this is what it looks like. And if you remember from the last class, I recommend that you do this. Just leave one tab open for your website and one tab open for your navigation panel, so that as you make changes to your website, you can go back to your website and see a full view of it, and refresh it whenever you make any new changes and kind of see if you like them. So let's go ahead and just do that. Let's just go back here to my site. Let's click on View Site, and then let's right click on my site and click Open Link in New Tab, and just, yeah, take a look at how beautiful our website is coming along. So yes, that will be available to you there as we continue. Okay. So I'm going to just go ahead and pause this for now. Give me 1 second.